Well, we are here. Week 13 predictions, Thanksgiving week. Let's get into it. We got a I would say, really good slate of Thanksgiving games this year. Except for maybe the last one, but still. First game, Packers-Lions. This is arguably the best game, probably of the week, honestly. You got the 7-3. You got 7-3-1 Packers taking on the 7-4 Lions. Both teams not really meeting expectations this year. You would expect, especially with the Packers, really both teams, Packers and Lions, that they would have maybe 3 losses at the worst. But that's not what's happened. I mean, Packers have 3 losses, but they also have that tie. And then the Lions have 4. Not looking too good for both. The teams are not looking like they were expected to look heading into the season, especially after the Micah Parsons trade. So with that, that's definitely a big factor. However, Lions always seem to play on Thanksgiving, and more often than not, unless they're playing the Bears, like last season when you had the infamous taking like 23 seconds to snap the ball, the Lions normally lose on Thanksgiving. The Packers, I would say right now they've looked better. The Lions have looked really shaky. I think and the Lions were competing with the Giants. That's not good. If they did not have Jahmyr Gibbs, they would have lost that game. I'm going with the Packers. I think Green Bay can get it done. I know that means they would have swept the Lions this year, but I just don't see it this year. The Lions are definitely not like where they were even 2 years ago, especially on offense. It's kind of they're really missing Ben Johnson. Defense, they've looked really good, but offense, not as good as they were. They're okay. They just haven't been the best. So I think Green Bay is a little bit better, and I think they will win this game. So Green Bay will win. Lions, they're in trouble, I would say. Next game, you have the afternoon game on Thanksgiving. Chiefs, Cowboys. I hope the Chiefs run Dallas into the ground. I think that would be hilarious. Especially after what Dallas did to my Eagles on Sunday. So that would be hilarious if they just completely destroy the Cowboys. I don't think that's going to happen. But that would be hilarious. And that's obviously what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the Cowboys just get obliterated, especially at home. I don't think that's going to happen. The Chiefs have been playing really ugly this season, and the Cowboys just came off a really good win. Unfortunately, it was a good win. They beat us. Not going to complain about it. I already have done my spaz out. Not on this channel, but just in life. The Chiefs, are they a playoff team? I don't know. The Cowboys, they've got a tough schedule. This is one of those tough games for them. I don't think the Cowboys will make the playoffs this season because of who they've got left on their schedule. The Chiefs, that's one of the teams. But do they look like a playoff team? Not really. I know they just beat the Colts in overtime, but the Colts are also looking shaky, so I don't consider that really a great win. That was just more of a bad loss by Indianapolis. The Chiefs, I think, will win this game. They've got, the Cowboys, momentum-wise, has more, but the Chiefs, they're better, I think, and I think the Chiefs will win. they know they actually can make the playoffs. The Cowboys, they're kind of up and down. So I think Chiefs win this game. Moving on to the final game of Thanksgiving night, Bengals, Ravens. Ravens should win this game. This game really shouldn't be that big of a shock. The Bengals aren't that great of a team. They're not. They're awful. They're not even great. They're not even that great. They're awful. They're awful. Ravens, they're not great, but they're better than the Bengals. It's not looking good for any of the North teams. All the North teams look very fraudulent this year. At least the good ones, and the bad ones just look bad. Even the Browns. The Browns are kind of iffy. I don't know how to say with the Browns, especially with Shedeur Sanders. I can't fully evaluate him yet off of 2 games. Ravens, they should win this game. Bengals have no defense, and when the Bengals offense gets shut down, it's over. It's over for the Bengals. The Ravens, I think they got this win. I think they've not got this in the bag because they've competed with a lot of teams. They competed with the Browns. They competed with the Jets, and they won. But they're allowing a team that they should dominate, if they're really that good of a team, to compete with them. And it's the same thing with the Lions. I don't see it. I think the Ravens are super fraudulent. That's why they're not in the top 10 in my power rankings yet. They're getting close to the top 10, and I think this win probably will put them over the top, but the Ravens aren't that great. Ravens still win this game, though. Now, this game is really important. Bears, Eagles, Black Friday. This is going to be the response game for us, for the Eagles. This will be the game that, well, okay, how are the Eagles going to respond to that, to what we just witnessed Sunday? Are they going to respond with, yep, we're just not going to play anymore? Or are we going to respond with, okay, it's time to win now, it's time to wake up? I think it's going to be it's time to wake up. I hope it is. Because if we don't wake up, this is going to be as bad of a collapse as it was 2 years ago. And I do not want to have that experience again. So, just begging you right now, Philadelphia, do not collapse. At least if you collapse, do not collapse as bad as you did 2 years ago. That was just awful. The Bears, they're good. They're a good team, alright? But we can sweep the North if we win. The NFC North this year is up and down. The Packers look alright. The Lions look alright, kind of. The Bears look like the best team out of the North. But their schedule is brutal coming up, so I don't think they'll win the North. The Eagles, and this is one of the first big games, they got a layup game against, not a layup game, but they got an easier game with the Steelers. The Eagles, they're much better, and I think we will win. I hope for my sanity we will win. Because if the Bears beat us, uh-oh, we're in trouble. But, yeah, we need to... Let's hope that does not happen. A collapse does not happen. Yeah. Moving on to the Sunday games. Rams at Panthers. What was that, Carolina? Did I pick the 49ers to win last week? Yes. But I wanted the Panthers to surprise me. Not really surprise me, but play better than that. That was awful. 3 interceptions. You got 3 interceptions in the first half and only got 3 points. there's a problem. The 49ers are just a good team. They are. They shut down the offense, and the Rams are going to do the same thing. I mean, I cannot expect to see anything different. I think it will be worse. This is a Rams team that completely obliterated the Buccaneers last week on prime time. I don't see the Rams losing to the Panthers. I don't. Well, if they do, that'd be hilarious. And they've done it before. They've beaten the teams like the Packers. So, but like I said, the Packers have been kind of wishy-washy this year. So, yeah. The Lions, they look like the Super Bowl favorite this year right now. With the Eagles going down. With the Patriots starting to get injured a little bit. This Rams team looks like they're going to win the Super Bowl. And I don't think the Panthers are going to come in the way of that. Rams win. They probably dominate. It's probably going to be like a 20-point game, maybe even a 30-point game. Next game, 49ers-Browns. Good win. Not good win, but you won, San Francisco. You didn't win big, you didn't win great, you just won. So, congratulations, the Browns. You won too, surprisingly. You did. Is Shedeur good? Is Shedeur bad? I don't know. This will be a good test. If Shedeur can allow the Browns to compete in this game and the 49ers, the game stays somewhat close, I think the 49ers will win this game. But the Browns, I think this is a good test for Shedeur to see, okay, is he going to be, does he have any signs of potential? Because anyone this season can pretty much beat the Raiders. I would even say, even though they didn't under Callahan, I would say I would say even the Titans right now can defeat the Raiders. Like, that's how bad the Raiders are. So this is a good. So like I said, this is what I said last week. For sure, this is a good layup game to make sure he's not like Raiders level bad. And he's not, or else they would have lost. The 49. So I think he has an opportunity to succeed. I think he does. However, this is going to be a good test for him to see how he performs against this 49ers team. So I think 49ers win. I don't think it's a blowout. I want, like I said before in the last video, I want to see Shedeur succeed. And we'll see what happens. Well, his future is undecided. We'll see. But we'll see how he goes. It's yet to be determined to see how it pans out. But this is going to be a very good test for him. Moving on. Texans, Colts. Bad loss by the Colts. Just bad loss all the way around. How do you do that? I mean, like, you're up 20-9. In the third quarter, how do you lose to a how do you let the Chiefs come back and beat you like that? Like, that's just wrong. The Texans, great win against the Bills. You're definitely much better than I thought you were after seeing that. And that's either a sign you're that good or the Bills are that bad. And I think it's kind of both. But Texans, good job. You got a big win. And I think you're due for another one. The Colt, the pieces are, everything is falling into place. All the signs are there for Houston to play well. I think the Colts will lose this game. I do. I don't see the Colts. I mean, I think the Colts maybe. I think if they're any good and they still are the favorite to win the division, they will win this game. But if they don't win this game, a collapse is coming. And Houston and Jacksonville are going to take advantage. Both of them will, and it's going to be really between these two teams to see who is the worst. See who's the best to win the division. And I think it starts here. Texans will win this game, even though they're on the road. I think they are defense. If they can shut down the Bills' offense, I think they can absolutely shut down the Colts' offense. They will. They'll figure out a way to shut down Jonathan Taylor, and that'll be the end of the Colts' reign at that point. Texans win this game. They basically do what they did against the Bills this week. Next game, Saints-Dolphins, one of the worst, I don't know, no, this isn't the worst game, but this is very close to being the worst game. Dolphins actually have a little bit more to compete for, and that's why they'll win this game. Saints are just bad. They're bad. And it's not really, I would say, the quarterback's fault, whether it be Rattler or Shuck. I think it's just they're a bad team all the way around. They've got a bad supporting cast, and the team cannot win like that. And that's why they have 2 wins. The Dolphins, they're actually starting to build some momentum, and they will win this game. They have to win this game, because if they lose this game, then what they've done the last couple of weeks will be pretty much for nothing, and they might as well just tank for a draft pick. So the Dolphins will have to win this game. I think they will. The Saints, they're just bad. So, Dolphins win, Saints, they continue to look bad. Now this might be the worst game. Falcons, Jets. 2 not great teams. And I know the Falcons just beat the Saints, so if you watched my predictions video, you know who I have in this game already. I think the Jets win. I do. They have competed with their last couple of games they played. They had 2 straight wins, and then they had a bye, then they had 2 straight losses. But those losses weren't bad losses. Like, they competed in those games. I think the Jets win this game. The Falcons aren't great, and I think they can capitalize on it. And this seems like a game the Jets would win. They're at home, and the Falcons, they're not great. They're not. So, I think the Jets capitalize. I didn't think the Saints would because I already knew the Saints were bad. The Jets, I think, will. The Jets are a lot better than the Saints. And if you underestimate the Jets, you will lose. Or you will barely win. And I think that's what the Falcons... Not the Falcons. That's what the Falcons will realize. But that's also what the Ravens realized last week. Then they decided to say, okay, we actually are better than this. And they actually won. But the Jets are not a bad team. They're not. And I think they will win this game. They're due for a big win like this, and I think this is the type of game where it makes kind of no sense for them to win, but they win. Cardinals, Buccaneers. Is Baker out? Pretty much. I don't know. I don't know exactly, but it looks like he is. Either way, Buccaneers win. I mean, Cardinals, okay. Is Jacoby Brissett bad? And are the Cardinals a bad team? No, they've just had a bad schedule. And they didn't put it all together right away. Kyler Murray is bad. The Buccaneers, they're a mediocre team. They're not good. They're not bad. They're just right in the middle. Especially without Baker Mayfield. They are very injured. However, they will win this game. They're at home. They just got beat bad by the Rams. And the Cardinals. Yeah, they're just not good. This is going to be a close, gritty game. but the Buccaneers will win this game. They will. So, yeah, moving on. Jaguars Titans, last 11 o'clock game of Sunday. Last of the morning games. Yeah. Bad game. This is another bad game that the Jaguars will win. Okay. The Jaguars will win this game. However, the Titans aren't a bad team. We need to address this. They have gotten much better, and they almost gave Seattle a scare last week. I thought legitimately that they might come back. However, they just wasted way too much time on that drive to come back. The Jaguars, they're a good team. They're a good team, I think, kind of, maybe. No one really knows if they're a good team or not. Now, I had originally at the beginning of the season the Jaguars to win the division. And this is kind of the reason why, because they do not have a bad schedule next. Their next like string of games until like the Broncos are not a bad game. They're not bad games. These are winnable games for Jacksonville. And I think they win. I don't know what we've seen. They were kind of free falling a little bit towards the middle of the season. But now I think they're going to start hitting their stride and they're going to start winning games. So, yeah, Jaguars win. Titans, they keep it close, but Jaguars win. Next game, Vikings, Seahawks, Sam Darnold revenge game. There's no reason why Minnesota wins this game. I have given McCarthy a 9. Too many chances. I have been very gracious in giving him more chances at winning. But that all ends here. After what I saw against Green Bay, no. He's bad. He's real bad. This is not good. Seattle, they're really good. They're a solid team that will probably make the playoffs and will probably go out maybe the second round. Not the first round, they're too good for that. They might make the NFC Championship game, but that might be asking a little bit too much. It really depends on who they play and what their seeding is and who they play. If they play the Rams before the NFC Championship game, they're not going to make the NFC Championship game. But, yeah, Vikings, they're bad. No, McCarthy is bad. And Minnesota, I think, needs to just cut ties with him at the end of the season because people are going to start questioning KOC very soon if McCarthy doesn't start playing better and the Vikings don't start at least looking like they want to try to win. McCarthy has made all these good players look bad. Justin Jefferson, he needs to go. Is he a generational bust? Yeah, probably. This is just bad. The Seahawks, they're really good, and they will dominate. This is also a revenge game for Sam Darnold, and he continues to ask the question. I continue to ask the question every day, why did Minnesota trade? Get rid of? Not really trade, but get rid of Sam Darnold. That made no sense. I mean, okay. He had 2 bad games against the Lions and Rams in the most inopportune times possible. I understand that, but he led the Vikings to a 14-3 record. The Vikings will be lucky if they get 8 wins, the rate they're going this season with McCarthy. So, no, it's not worth it. No. There is no reason, in my opinion, to trade Sam Darnold. and the Vikings are going to get destroyed for it. Seahawks win, and Seahawks dominate. Next game, Raiders-Chargers. Raiders are bad. They're a real bad team. Chargers, they're another mediocre team that isn't awful. And I think they can make the playoffs, but the Chargers are a playoff team. Raiders are not. Chargers win. They dominate. Raiders continue to look really bad. And yeah, Chargers, they go 8-4. Moving on, not much to say in this game. Bills, Steelers. Now this is a big one. This is for both teams. And this is not a point where I thought we would see the Bills at, but the Bills are at a crossroads. What happened? What do you play for this season? Because at this point, a championship looks out of reach. It does. For them. The way they've been playing, their defense is atrocious. Their offense, if you shut down Josh Allen's throwing and running ability, and you just keep him in the pocket, if you isolate him and keep everyone covered, yeah, this is yeah, it's gonna be a long day, a long season for Buffalo if teams start doing this. If teams did what Houston did on Thursday, this does not look good if you're Buffalo. The Steelers, you're in the same predicament. This is the same Steelers we've seen every year. Nothing's changed. You're going to go 9-8. You're not going to go 10-7. I've already looked at your schedule. You got there's too many tough games like this one. This feels like a game Pittsburgh wins. They have no business winning it, but they do because they know they have to if they want to try to get a winning season, if they want to try to make the playoffs. And they're at home, so I can see Pittsburgh winning, but they won't. The Bills will win this game. They have to. They know they have more of a shot than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, all they can do is hope they go 9-8 and make the playoffs that way, which, with the way the AFC is looking and the NFC, it's just no one is going to be 9-8 and making the playoffs this year. So yeah, Steelers, they go 6-6, and the Bills go 8-4. Is this going to be the season where Mike Tomlin finally has a losing season? Because this feels like it might be. Steelers lose, Bills win. Moving on to the Sunday night game. Broncos, Commanders. Bad game again. These primetime games, Sunday and Monday's games, are awful. The Broncos are a good team. They are a good team. And they are probably a team that, depending on who they play in the playoffs, may make the NFC Championship game and AFC Championship game. The Commanders are not. They're awful. So, this is an easy win. There's no reason why Denver, this game is even close. I know the Raiders game shouldn't have been close, but I'm willing to look past that because this season has been like that for everyone when it comes to Thursday night divisional games. I don't know why, it just is. That's just been the trend. Broncos dominate. Commanders, they look awful. Monday game, pretty similar. Giants, Patriots. Patriots are injured, but the injuries are not as bad as we all originally thought. So, that's good news for the Patriots. Bad news for New York, however, I don't think a lot of these players will be back for this game. So, kind of good news for New York, especially knowing that the Giants almost beat the Lions. It's just honestly the funnest looking game of Jameis Winston's career. Not season. Yeah, season, but career. Like, he just looked like he was in his element out there, throwing, catching, touchdown dancing. And then it all came crashing down in overtime. Which I was kind of rooting for New York to win that game. I just wanted to see all the chaos ensue with New York winning. New York has been eliminated. New York's got nothing to play for now. They just need to tank. Patriots, they got to keep winning to stay ahead of Denver. They'll be tied going into week 15 because, well, they'll have their bye. So New England wins, but yeah, New York just isn't a good team. New England probably dominates. So yeah, that is my predictions for week 13. Getting very close now to the end of the season. We're now entering December. Thanksgiving week is here. Tomorrow, Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving games are going to be, a lot of them, honestly all of them are probably going to be really good. And the Black Friday game, finally. And then Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football get completely ruined. But, yeah. Yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're on the push for 500 subscribers. So, if you enjoy the content, yeah, consider subscribing. Yeah, I have 2 other channels, Southwest Gamer and this is Sportsman. Legos Models. Southwest Gamer is like a sports gaming channel, so like Retro Bowl, Madden, Hoopland, Retro Bowl College, and then Legos Models is Legos. So if you're interested in any of that, the links to those channels will be in the description. And also, I'm putting all these videos now are being put up in podcasting form on Spotify. So I can't put the link in the description yet, but check out. It's the same name. Just search up Sportsman. It should pop up if you're interested in listening to this on Spotify. They're on Spotify too. They'll probably come up. Each video that I make will probably come up like a few hours after I actually post it. But yeah, that's it. That's all the announcements, and I'll see you in the next video.